Well, hello there and welcome back to this F1 2017 Sauber career mode. We're at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit in Belgium for round 12 of season 3. Just completed all the 3 practice sessions. Got some good news and some bad news. Good news, or bad news first I should say. The little powertrain upgrade failed unfortunately, so I've got to spend 300 credits to get that next week. I may just bypass it. And if we end up with, actually we won't, that's 900 isn't it, to go. Oh yeah, I forgot about that, that's 900, I thought it might have been 600. Yeah, so I may very well just save it all up, leave that for a little while, and then get this major done, because it's been mentioned to me that I can probably get that done as soon as possible for a bit of a hike. As for the chassis, this one's obviously coming, and you can now see just how far ahead we are in the chassis performance comparison. All we have left now is the 3 ultimates, which will probably be done in season 4 once I halve the development time. As for parts, we're now onto our 4th unit for everything, 0% for the lot. Gearbox, we're now entering our 5th race out of 6, and it's at 39%, so we've got nothing to worry about there. As for the practice sessions, they went well. Q2, FP2 started in the wet a little bit, so that was fine, but the conditions for qualifying in the race are going to be dry throughout, so I just did a couple of laps in the wet. There was no real need to test a wet setup there, because we won't be using it in the qualifying in the race. FP3, a bit strange. Perez ended up being the fastest by nearly 0.3 of a second, so I don't know whether he pulled something out the bag or he got the mother of all toes in sector 1. And Pascal Wehrlein as well finished the session in 16th, and the drivers behind him were on the same tyres as him, so that's now starting to show that Wehrlein is going to start creeping up the order hopefully a little bit now as we've started to develop the car more and more. So we'll exit the laptop then and we'll listen to the qualifying objective. Hopefully this is nice and achievable for us. 15th, yeah, I think I'm pretty confident we can certainly get into Q2. Q3 might be a bit of a struggle. The last few races I've sort of been like the 9th quickest, and that was where we ended FP3 just about 4 or 5 minutes ago. We were behind both the Force Indias, Red Bulls, Ferraris and Mercedes, so we are essentially the best of the rest. So if we can get 9th in Q3 in the end, I'll be very happy with that. But for now we're going to focus on Q1 and hopefully Q2, so we'll go to the track, put a couple of laps on the board and hopefully make it through to the next session without any problems. So there we go then, safely through to Q2 with the 8th fastest time. We did use the ultra softs, probably could have done it in the supers to be honest with you. Sector 1 were second quickest actually. The only person that was quicker than us was Vettel, but we're losing almost a second in Sector 2 and a little bit in Sector 3, mainly because we're running I think 4 wings it is, or maybe even 3 wings, so that's fine because you can't really overtake in Sector 2, and all the overtaking will be done in Sector 1 or even in Sector 3 through Blanchimont up to the bus stop chicane, so that's fine. We need all the pace we can down the straight. So Vettel safely through. Perez, see I told you he's quite quick here, he's in 2nd place so far. Hamilton and Bottas on the super softs, Ocon 5th, Raikkonen also super softs, Ricciardo, ourselves, Verstappen and Grosjean. So that's the top 10. The 5 drivers eliminated. Carlos Sainz in 16th. Pascal Wehrlein has done well to get into 17th, and he's managed to outqualify Stroll, Alonso and Van Dorn. In fact, Wehrlein was over a second and a half quicker than Van Dorn. So like I said, the upgrades that are slowly but surely coming in now starting to help Wehrlein up the order as well, which kind of tells you the difference between us really. 1.4 seconds between myself and Wehrlein, which is usually the case. So hopefully by the end of the season we should be seeing Wehrlein consistently inside Q2, but for now anyway, we're the only car that's going to be representing Sauber in the next session, so we'll go to Q2 and we'll try our best to get into the top 10 shootout for Q3. So a great lap there to see us in 6th place on a 1:47.050. Very nice indeed. Everyone that's made it through to Q3 apart from Ricciardo will be starting on the ultra soft tyres, and Massa's done well, 10th place for him. We're a second and a half off Bottas, but I'm not expected to be challenging the likes of Mercedes and Ferrari. They're just too quick for us. But we're in a good battle here with Red Bull and Force India, which is nice. 5 drivers eliminated in Hulkenberg, Kvyat, Palmer, Grosjean and Magnussen for the 2 Haas cars. So we've managed to outqualify Magnussen in our rivalry, so that's nice. And now we go forward to Q3. The weather is a bit cloudy, but it will remain dry, and we'll be starting the race on the ultras, and you never know, if we put in a decent performance and maybe even improve by a few temps, we could be starting sort of 6th, 7th, 8th, something like that would be nice. I won't be too despondent if we're 9th or 10th. We should be able to easily outqualify Massa at least, so we'll go forward to Q3 and see what we can do. So just completing my outlap now. This will be my one and only shot at a decent grid position. So, a pretty decent lap in the end, a 46.5, half a second quicker than what we did in Q2. But still 2 seconds off the pace, so there's no splitting, you know, no getting close to the Mercedes and the Ferraris. However, we have split the Red Bulls, so that's really quite promising as well. 8th place then into Q3 yet again. Hamilton pole ahead of Bottas, and then Ferrari beats Vettel, and Perez 5th with Ocon in 6th place. So it looks like we're going to be battling sort of, I think, Ocon and the Red Bulls throughout this race. I think Massa will drop back during the race, to be honest. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. 8th place on the grid. So then the resource points for qualifying, this will be the maximum 105, thank you very much, takes over to 502, so as long as the race goes well, we'll definitely have at least enough to do a minor upgrade, but I might leave it and do the major, I'm not too sure yet. The rivalry update, we completed qualifying and set a fast lap than Magnussen, so 20-7 at the moment. This is probably the most convincing rivalry I've had, so very nice to easily stay even at this point. That we will see Magnussen off. The team approval continues to rise with all the teams. Hopefully we can keep that going for as long as possible. So we'll listen to the voicemail there, see what the race target is. Finish in 12th, beat Magnussen and remain in at least 14th place in the championship. All easily achievable as long as nothing goes wrong. So then, there's not much else to talk about. We might as well go straight to the track and have a look at the race strategy screen.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Esteban Ocon, and Ricciardo, Sauber, Verstappen, Massa, and Nico Hülkenberg, Fiat, Palmer, Kimi Räikkönen, and Grosjean, Magnussen, Sainz, Pascal Wehrlein, and Lance Stroll, Alonso, and Stoffel Van Dorn completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So then, we are now going to be starting from 7th place. Raikkonen has had a 10th place grid drop. Not too sure what he's done or what he's changed, but he'll be starting outside the top 10. So then, we'll have a look at the race strategy screen. Oh, 2 stops. It's actually saying we have to do the 2 stop. First of all, fuel please. I want mini laps of fuel. We'll start with 5 extra. I think that'll be okay. Oh, I'll go to the max. There we go. What's that? 4.1. So ultras, supers, ultras and then softs doesn't seem like a viable strategy. It's literally saying that ultra softs only last 3 or 4 laps around here before they start getting a bit knackered. I am very surprised by that. The tyre wear rate here is really high. It's only saying I can do 9 laps on the supers. Yeah, true. When in the FP3, when I did the race strategy program, I did 4 or 5 laps on the ultras, and they were into something like 51-52% by the end of it. So I don't know really, it's quite a strange one this actually. 2-stop race around Belgium on 22 laps is a bit of a rarity. So yeah, we can't change it unfortunately, we have to start on the ultras. So I don't know if ultra, if we remove that. Remove stint. No, what am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? I'm doing the wrong thing here, aren't I? Softs. And then projected race time. If we do that, what's it saying? 10 seconds slower, but then obviously I'll be in the pits. But I don't think it's going to be manageable. I want to be fast, I want to be pacey, so I think what we'll do, we'll have the selected strategy. I just modified that a little bit there to see what the times were like. Yeah, I don't know if I could be able to do like something like 17 laps and set of soft tyres, certainly the way the tyre wear is. Okay, we'll stop messing around with that. That's the one we'll do. Ultras, supers. I may change it during the race, you never know. So we'll get the formation lap out of the way and then get the Belgian race on the go from 7th place. So here we are then, on the grid. The lights come on, build the revs. Let's keep it clean in turn 1. Long hold, but away we go now. Let's try and get a few positions off the start if we can. We've got no challenge from behind. This is going to get personal. Ooh, we've managed to do the Red Bull. We're going to do Ocon as well. That's 5th place then. Good start. Let's try and get a toe from these guys ahead of us. Oh, this is going to get interesting. Around the outside of Vettel. Now we've got Perez. Don't squeeze me, don't squeeze me. If we can out-drag him, we'll be up to 3rd. What a start. P3. So ending lap 1. I don't think we'll be able to stay with the Mercedes. So it looks like for the next few laps anyway, I'm going to be defending from Perez and Vettel. Plenty of fuel. Tyres feel okay. So we'll just keep pushing. So then DRS is now activated. You can see the Mercedes guys are going to be battling up ahead. We've got a decent gap over Perez. They are going for it. Bottas up the inside of Hamilton. Oh, please crash. Please crash and give me the lead. So ending lap 3 then, Hamilton and Vettel are already in the pits, leaving myself, Bottas and Perez in first, second and third. Tyres are starting to feel a bit off, 36%, that will be why. Oh, so the VSC is out, there's a slow car in sector 1, so we'll use this opportunity to pit. Being held in the pits as well, which wasn't too helpful. Oh, coming up on some McLarens here. So we're out in 15th. Oh, wow, look at that. Very nice. So the yellow flags are out for this slow car. Oh god, please don't say it's by the entrance. Oh, just round it. Haas car going slowly. And Vettel unfortunately managed to get the jump on us by undercutting us. But he's being held up by, I think, my teammate and Stroll possibly. Up the inside. Try and do my teammate as well, why not? So up to 8th, others are pitting. Vettel on the soft tyres, so he's planning on possibly going to the end. So we want to get past Stroll pretty quickly here if we can. So we're now back up to 7th place then. I've got Perez just ahead of me, who held us in the pits. Fancy a double overtake here. Oh, bit of contact. 3 wide. So we're up to 5th place, coming into lap 8. Here comes Perez up the inside. Oh, come on, mate. Give us the space. Cheeky lift off there to make sure I get the DRS, but we've got damage on this front wing and it's going to hurt us just as well. We've got to pit again. Because Hulkenberg was at the race, but he was due a pit stop anyway. We're up to 4th. Palmer's yet to stop, but I think we might end up stopping, I don't know, probably a couple of laps, fix this wing. So we're going to pit now for another set of super soft tyres. Please don't hit the wall. Right, here we go then. We're just going to drop us back a little bit, unfortunately, with the front wing change as well. And we've now got to do half the race with a set of super soft tyres, so this is going to be a real burn from the stern. Looks like we're coming out in 14th place. We are just ahead of Van Dorn. There's a whole gaggle of cars ahead of us though. God, look at this lot. It's just going to be brave. Four overtakes in 2 corners. See you later. So we're now caught Stroll. I need to get past as quickly as possible. So we'll just dive bomb him. Decent move. 8th place then. So just set the fastest lap of the race. Here comes Palmer out the pits. It's going to be a drag down to Eau Rouge. This is going to get interesting. Oh, he's moved across and made contact with us. What a fucker. Just dive bombing back up to 7th place then. So Palmer's got a decent chance of scoring some points by the looks of it as we run wide. Oh god. So Sainz is in the pits, and surprisingly Ocon has made another pit stop. So we've got no one directly behind us now. So Raikkonen has just made his second pit stop and is just rejoining now. We're up to 6th. The aim now is to hunt down and get past Palmer, but my tyres are already past their best. So you can see they're 30% on the front left. We've still got 7 laps to go, including the one that we're on. So I don't know if we'll be able to catch Palmer or not. Yeah, into lap 17 then, Raikkonen behind us. My tyres are already a bit dead at this point. It looks like we're creeping up to Palmer, but I don't think we're going to catch him. We've got a decent gap back to whoever is in 8th and 9th. So I think once Raikkonen gets past, we'll be looking at 7th place. Through he goes. He tried it into Pouon, and to be honest, I'm not going to try and defend on the outside of Pouon with dead tyres. So that's it then. Down to 7th. I think this is going to be it. So we're coming into lap 20. I've got the tyre wear graph up because I'm a little worried, but we're doing okay for now. 50% on the front left. Ricciardo and Grosjean are having an almighty battle for 8th and 9th, but they're still, what, 6.7 that says? So yeah, the pace we're doing will be okay for 7th, and I'll be a bit disappointed. I think we could have possibly had a podium tonight. So into the final lap. Nothing else to report really. Losing time to Palmer and losing time to Ricciardo, but it's only about half a second a lap, so nothing to worry about. Plenty of fuel on board, we've got half a lap in reserve, so just a case of staying away from them curbs and bringing the car home for some more points. So we've managed it then, just over half the race on a set of super soft tyres. As believe it or not, rain has just started to fall as we're coming out the final corner. It could have been a podium, but I'll take a 7th place. More points. So there we go, then there's the final classification. Bottas has managed to beat his teammate Hamilton, with Vettel taking the final podium spot. Perez in 4th, good recovery from Raikkonen in 5th, and hats off to Palmer, 12th on the grid, made the one-stop strategy work to take 8 points for 6th. We are classified in 7th place, but yeah, it could have been, well, a podium. 30 seconds off Vettel in the end. Maybe would have had 5th. Possibly challenged Perez for 4th. But Ricciardo, 8th place, Ocon 9th, and Grosjean the final points position with 10th. Then you had Sainz, Verstappen, another poor race for Verstappen. In fact, a poor race overall for Red Bull, only 4 points there. I'm in a bit of danger of being caught by Force India at some point because they picked up 14. But anyway, Sainz, Verstappen, Kvyat, Verline, well done mate, 14th place for you on a 2-stop. Beat Stroll, Alonso, Van Dorn. Massa was a lap down. Kevin Magnussen was 2 laps down. Massa made 4 stops, bloody hell. And Nico Hulkenberg was an early retirement. So well done to Verline then, 14th place. Looked like he was pretty consistent in that race as well. On to the standings then. Bottas extends his lead, now 17 points ahead of his teammate Hamilton, who jumps up to 2nd. Raikkonen has been pushed down to 4th. And then it's Ricciardo, just 1 point ahead of Perez. We stay in 8th place on now 60 points, 25 ahead of Ocon. Further down, no position changes, but I think Verline is getting closer and closer to scoring his first point at some point. In the Constructors then, no change anywhere at all, although I think Force India might start creeping up on Red Bull towards the end of the season. Mercedes and Ferrari now separated by 24 points thanks to their 1-2. We remain in 5th, just 10 points ahead of Renault, but we've got a good gap over Haas and Toro Rosso. So the resource points for the race, 100 in total, does take us over the 600 mark. And then the resource points for our first jar of bonus as well, another 57, a little low in the race. We should have done a bit better, but still nice in practice and qualifying anyway. The rivalry update, we would have smashed that one again, 24-9 now. This is going to be a convincing win. And the team approval stays the same with Mercedes and Ferrari. They're obviously quite hard to please. Same for Force India, but nice jump up with everyone else as well. And finally, the career score for the weekend. This will be nice in all 3 sessions, to be honest with you. So we'll definitely get over 10,000. Just under 14,000 points. Very nice indeed. Yet again, no classic car events. Hopefully they do carry on going, because I still need 5 more until we unlock the ultimate upgrade development path. So then, 659. What can we do? We can only really do 2 things, really. Well, 3 things. We can get that developed for 300 credits, and it will resource points. It will definitely come in. We can, in fact, we can't do anything else. We literally can only do that for 300, or save them up and do that for 900, which will unlock 2 different paths for us. So yeah, what I'm going to do then is save the resource points. No upgrades are going to be on the car for the next race. I'm going to save up and get this major one done, because you see there at the bottom, it'll get us halfway between where we are now and Toro Rosso, and we need to really start catching up, because once we get most of these done this season, all the little minor ones, we should be hopefully knocking on the door of maybe Haas and Renault, which isn't too bad really. So we need to get this major one done. So that will be what I'll be doing after the next race. The next race will be, I believe, Italy. How have we gone there before? Season 2 we were 9th, Season 1 we were 17th. Oh, I crashed into the back of Parma on the final corner of the final lap. I remember that. Yeah, so there we go then. Not much else to talk about. 5 races now done of the gearbox. So after this, we'll be able to put on our 4th unit, which will be very nice indeed. As for other bits on the car as well, what did they get up to? 9%, 12% for the MG UK, because I won most of the race in Rich Mix. Yeah, that's fine then. That's all pretty much standard. So yeah, a bit disappointed in the end actually. Damaging my wing on the back of Perez there when I tried to get past him. Pretty much made us go in the pits a few laps early to try and you know, get back into the race a little bit. And then the last 3-4 laps my tyres were pretty much dead. If it wasn't for that, I would have had Palmer. I probably would have had Raikkonen as well. Maybe Perez. I think Vettel was just too far ahead then. But it was nice in the opening laps to be fighting for a legitimate podium and keeping pace with the Mercedes drivers. And a very entertaining race actually. I wish more races were 2 stops like that, because it does see you move up and down the field. You're constantly in battles, rather than, let's say, the less entertaining races like Hungary last time out, where you're pretty much on your own for a majority of it. But hindsight is a wonderful thing, and we did score more points with 7th place. So overall, not too disappointed. Made it into Q3, more points again. I'm very happy. So we move on from Belgium to Italy, and hopefully this episode, that episode will be up in a few days. So thank you very much for watching this episode as ever, and hopefully I'll see you all for the next one very soon.